Let's listen to this one clip. To the extent that Joe Biden was involved in this debate, it really only happened here. And I think, and we should say that the less Joe Biden is involved in a debate, the more he has won.
Yep.
And short of there being these moments where he seemed to be searching for what he was talking about and his typical jibber jabber that he gets into, and, he just keeps jawboning in this cadence that you just basically tune out and just assume that it has some coherence. Mm-hmm. So Biden did, mission accomplished for Joe Biden. He got through another debate. And no disasters. I mean, I think, there was probably all of his advisors. That's what they all text each other in the group text or, whatever their signal channel is.
He
or
didn't
whatever
forget
it is.
his daughter's name.
No disasters. Mission accomplished. This moment was really, impressed me. Just as a moment. There was nothing, I don't know that he said anything any different here, Sanders, in terms of our involvement in the war, but the way he delivered this, or the way that there was a quality, this is indicative of a quality that he had last night that I felt was slightly different. There was this sense, and maybe it's because there's a certain amount of confidence that the campaign has right now in terms of where they're positioned. Because, their whole theory is that we have votes that will not be seen by pollsters.
Right.
Because of our organization, because of the nature of our campaign, not just that we don't just have a ground game. We have a fundamentally different campaign that has been attempted in the past. And therefore, if we're doing it right, our polls should reflect 10 points, 5 points, 7 points, 12 points. I don't know what the number is they have in their head. Our polls should be a certain amount less than we actually have. And so I think there's a certain amount of confidence, and he seemed a little bit more confident than normal. And this answer was indicative of that.
Before I tell you that, let me tell you something else.
Can we go back just a little bit?
Yeah, the question.
We can't. Okay. All right. Because CNN asked some a specific question, and he said, "Give me 1 second," and that's what he did.
And that is, and I don't know if my colleagues here will agree with me or not. Maybe they will. But what we have to face as a nation is that the two great foreign policy disasters of our lifetimes were the war in Vietnam and the war in Iraq. Both of those wars were based on lies. And right now, what I fear very much is we have a president who is lying again and could drag us into a war that is even worse than the war in Iraq. To answer your question, what we need to do is have an international coalition. We cannot keep acting unilaterally. As you know, the nuclear deal with Iran was worked on with a number of our allies. We have got to undo what Trump did, bring that coalition together, and make sure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon.
There was just something about his cadence there, and the idea of stating, of going back to Vietnam on some level, and working that in, and seeing that, and sort of attempting to look to his colleagues for, like, I think we can all agree on this, and stay. I don't know. I don't know what it was about that.
I wish he'd done one thing though, and I remember thinking this in the moment, that if he could just add one line that illustrates that he is the only candidate on that stage who has a fundamentally different take on foreign policy. Right. He mentioned interventionism, but at the end of the day, he is, that's why he feels confident. First off, he knows it very well. Second, he's been, fighting this, whatever his foreign policy ideals